Hi everybody, it's Laquita. I wanted to come and show you a few things that I've been working on for a swap that I'm doing with the lovely Lynn. Hi Lynn. Of course Lynn will have already received these things by the time this video goes up, so it's not a surprise to her what she's getting. But we decided to do a swap, and what we decided to swap was a junk journal, a Christmas ornament, a fabric mitten, a handmade fabric mitten, and one gift that is a surprise gift. And so let me start with the ornament. This is the ornament that I came up with for her. Now it's a purchased ornament, the star is, and it's totally blinged out with glitter on that side. And then on the flip side, I've just decorated it with a lot of different laces, and you'll see some laces have sequins on them. You'll see them peeking out there, and then a gold lace going around, and then there's some fun fibers in there, and then the image of Santa, which I framed and put a little sequin flower there for him. So that's the Christmas ornament. And then the next item that I'm going to show you is the handmade fabric mitten, and this is what I came up with. I know Lynn does like vintage style, and she also likes shabby chic, but I decided to go with the vintage style on this mitten. And it's a pattern that I just downloaded from the internet just to get the shape of it. And then it's made out of a muslin fabric, and I've just covered it with this pretty little delicate lace, and then I added this fuzzy, it's really soft, this little fuzzy topper on it, the cuff, and then just printed a pretty image there, and then went all around it with lots of different flowers and trims and buttons and things like that. So I will stuff it. It also has been lined with a very nice lining that I put inside, and but I will fill it with some goodies for her. So that is the mitten and the ornament. And then the next thing I'm going to show you is the surprise gift that I made for her. I decided to make her a Tussie Mussie, and this one is made from one of those paper mache cones. And I've made the Tussie Mussies in the past, and I usually make them, I'm hesitating with this because I feel like there's a shadow there, but hopefully it's not too dark. But I usually make the Tussie Mussies, you know, with a circle and then just kind of fold it into a triangle shape, but I decided to go ahead and use the paper mache cone for this one. So I've got some dangles at the bottom and a beautiful beaded dangle right there on the front, and then it is entirely covered with bridal applique, just snippets, and I've gone around the top with this gorgeous lace, and I should have remembered who it is. I think it is Pam Holderness that gifted me this gorgeous lace across the top here. It's a really vintage lace, and then I've used a tulle to go around the inside, and then another pretty little lace there in the front. And then the handle, I've used a couple of different laces. I've got, you know, this one, which you can kind of see from that side better, and then I just put on top of it this pearl and rhinestone trim, so that makes the handle. And then what I made to put inside is I got, I had some music paper here, and this one is called Old French Song, and I've tea-dyed this paper and put it in. It actually came out of a book of songs. And then I've got some flowers that I've just bundled together that I'm going to put in there. And then I've also got a little, this is a felt heart that I did the blanket stitch around the edges, and I've put that pretty applique flower on the front, and added a few little beads, and it's just plain on the back, but it is filled with lavender, and so that will be tucked down in there too. So that's what I will give her for her surprise gift. Okay, and then the last thing, I knew those were going to fall out of there. The last thing is the journal. Now, I've made one journal, one junk journal in the past, but I wasn't happy with it, and so I have never shown it, but I plan to go back and rework it, and I'll show it to you later. So this is actually my second junk journal that I've ever made. And so I learned a lot from the first one, what not to do, and some good and bad things about making a journal. So this one is completely covered on the outside with a fabric, a Christmas fabric. And then I've just put the Merry Christmas tag on there. I've also got metal corners on the front and on the back there. And then what you're seeing here is the bookmark that's hanging out there, and it's kind of hidden, but it's tucked in the bottom there. But then I've got some beads which are hanging from the threads, you know, in the center of the book. And then I've just got a really pretty ribbon that I went around it, and I put one of these, I think you call them suspender clips, on there, just so that it can hold the strap on there. And on the other end of the little strap, there's actually a little heart and a little rhinestone hanging on there. So let's get started inside. So inside here, I've used a different fabric, which has the image there of the church. And then if you take these things out, you can actually see the fabric on the inside is done in the holly leaves and berries. And so what I pulled out of that pocket there, just a couple of things that I altered. This is one of the little tags that comes on a gift bag. And so I've just put some note paper inside, so you have a few more things, a few more places to jot down, you know, something if you need to write it in there. And I've just got some washi tape on the inside, Merry Christmas, and that one has snowflakes. So then this one is made to look like a little envelope, but it's all covered in fabric and a pretty little ribbon that has Christmas trees on it. And then I've just embellished it with a little flower and a little bit of a gold trim. But it opens up, and it is finished on the inside with a Christmas paper. And then each envelope has room for you to store some things. And so I've got some tea-dyed like index cards in there, and this top one actually has a tea-dyed bag, like a tea bag in there. So lots of room in here for storing notes and that kind of thing in there. So okay, back to the book. The first page, I've just covered it with a flip up of, it's a music note paper, and I've used a stencil that I had in my stash of a Christmas tree there. And then journaling places and places for tags, a little tuck spot behind there, and a couple of tags for journaling on, and then more journaling places, a little bit of lace along the edge there. And then this page, I've made an envelope out of a scrapbook paper, and tucked behind the envelope there is a large tag, and I've put a altered paper clip on it there. And then this has a Velcro closure, and then inside there is a tag, and also this is the instructions for making scented cinnamon ornaments and for your Christmas tree. And I found this in a vintage Christmas book, and so on the back side it has the template for making stars to hang on your tree. So those will be tucked inside there. And then we have a tea-dyed doily, more journaling paper here, And then I've made an altered paper clip. Instead of putting tabs on the edge of the pages, which I do like, I just decided I wanted to do something a little different. So I used the altered paper clips so that you can move them and put them on whatever page you would like to. So you'll see them as we go through the book. They're all different, and they all have little beads dangling from the edge. And see, the flip side of it has just some little applique pieces. Okay, and then this page I've used a glassine bag, which I altered with the date, and then you flip that over, and then in here you have a place for tags and also some journaling. It's a do it now, do it later paper. And then this glassine bag is also filled with lots of different tags, pages torn from a calendar that have quotes on it, and then a couple of tags in there. So that's that page. And then moving on, more journaling space, and then here I've added a tag to the page, but I left room behind the tag to tuck in a few more tags to journal on. And then it's also got a little belly band on the front of the tag, and then these two pieces can also be journaled on. Let's go in there. Okay, and then the next page, more journaling places here, and then here I've made a large pocket on the side here. It has tags and also a page from a calendar, and then this page was from a children's storybook, and I believe the name of the book was called Iggy Pig, and it was about Iggy Pig playing outside in the snow. So I just tucked that in there, and then at the top I've got a little altered book, a little book that I made. I've got a couple of little charms on it and a little doily, and inside there's pages that you can journal on. There's also a really pretty ribbon across the top of the page there. Okay, next page, more journaling room there, and then this page actually came from a vintage book that was filled with stencils. So this was the Santa Claus or the snowman stencil, and then you'll see the other side of it when we get farther into the book. So on this side I've made a flip down pocket and put a few tags in there, even have a math card, and then I've added a little bit of a pretty gold bling. And then this pocket is made from a ribbon, a really large ribbon, and if you slide the altered paper clip off, then you can get inside and see that there's tags and note, message note paper and more places to journal in there. And then I've got a pretty little ribbon across the bottom of the page there. And then this is the center of the book, and this is your bookmark. And on the end of it, I've added this book belongs to Lynn. And then it's got a little charm that says made with love, and it has a little bow on there. And then, of course, I just hung the beads from the string that's in the middle of the book there. Okay, more journaling place there, and then I've made a pocket here, and I've made a little heart, which is another paper clip, so that can be taken off. And then there's a couple of large tags, and then I also have this is like stationery paper, Christmas stationery paper, but I've tea-dyed it, and so there's plenty of room for journaling on that. So that gets tucked in there, and I'll have to put that back the way it should be before I send that out. And then the next page, this is the other side of the page that had the snowman on it. So this is the Christmas tree stencil. And then this page, I've taken another page from the music book, and I folded it and made a pocket here. And I didn't want to cover up the information there because it tells a little bit about Anton Rubinstein, and it talks about his his career as being a pianist and where he traveled. And so I have a couple of tags in there. There's also a pocket here, which I haven't put anything in, but you can see there's an altered paper clip there. And on this paper clip, it actually has a little pocket, and there's a couple of little tiny little tags in there. So that goes there. And then more room for journaling. And then I've made a pocket out of, this is a little tote bag, a Christmas tote bag. So, you know how you fold the end up, and I've just covered it with a Christmas fabric and another pretty little trim, and created the pocket and put a couple of tags in there. And then the bag itself, as you can see, it's a bag. I've used it to put in a few tags, and I've got another altered paper clip on there. Okay, the next page, more room for journaling. There's another altered paper clip there, and the other side of the doily there. And then this side is a Christmas card, Peace and Love, with a beautiful cardinal on there. And then to open it, I've added a sleeve like you would find in a photo album, and then I've just tucked a tag in there. And then if you flip this over, you'll see there's another pocket here with more tags tucked in there. Okay, and then I've added a glassine bag here, which I've stamped on, and then more journaling room. Here I've created a pocket out of music note lace, and then I've added this tea-dyed envelope. Doesn't have anything in it, and then the front of it is altered with lace and that beautiful flower applique, which I thought almost looked like a poinsettia. Okay, and then the last page I've added a vintage looking envelope there, and then inside there is a vintage letter, and it's written in French, but there's plenty of room on the flip side to journal on. So that's what's tucked in there. And then the inside of the back flap, I've created a pocket out of this gorgeous fabric, which has the little chickadee on there and the poinsettias and the beautiful pine cones. And then I've got a couple of tags in there, and these tags are covered with fabric on the front side, and the back are in craft paper, so you can journal on those. So that is the journal, and the Tussie Mussy, and the mitten and the ornament. So I will get those things in the mail in a couple of days. This is actually the weekend, so I'll probably go on Monday and get them in the mail, and then they'll be on their way. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be back again. I believe I have one more video to do, and that'll be it for a little while. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.